All right, well, it's a couple days later, and here we are, a week and a day away from the announcement of the. I've lost track. Is this the 27th Screen Actors Guild Awards? Something like that. Anyways, so it's somewhere in that neighborhood, 26th, I think. But we'll talk about the updated predictions here first. I've got like three screens I've got to get open here, so yeah, I might bounce back and forth here a little bit, but anyways, and actually we are not going to start with that one. We're going to start with this one. So I've made a few changes here and there with some of these categories, like supporting actor. Today I kind of went in and I kind of looked at everything and I'm like, I don't know. There was a couple. I've kind of looked back at a couple of years and I'm like, I don't know. This doesn't make sense anymore. Let me put this in. Okay, now this makes a little more sense, and so on and so forth. And I think, hold on a minute, my internet's being a little funny here. And then there is one other change that I want to make here too. There we go. There we go. Okay, because I'd kind of gone back to it, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, yeah, I do want to make that change. Anyways, so. We're going to start here with the film ensemble category here, and then we'll work our way down. We'll talk a little bit more about the stunts category, but again, I mean, if you saw my last video, not much has changed, I don't think. So so the five I have in right now for the stunt, or not for stunt, for just general ensemble. Trial of Chicago 7, I think, is still the solid front runner here. Again, kind of like we were talking in 2015, clear back to that year. I thought Joy was out front, the whole year up until some of the reviews started coming in. Then I switched over to Revenant, then to Spotlight, then back to Revenant. But all during that time, and up until and including the award show, I always thought Spotlight is the clear. No matter who wins Best Picture, I think Spotlight has this cast, the ensemble prize here. And Trial of Chicago 7 definitely feels that way. As we've mentioned here this year. So I still have that one out front. One Night in Miami, I think, is a strong second place contender, though. And then Ma Rainey's, I think, is still in there. But again, the caveat that I don't know because, like the opening credit, again, has both Chadwick Boseman and Viola Davis on there. After that, it does go to single credits. So there could be a little controversy brewing there. That one might miss out. So I'm thinking, just for general ensemble, it could miss out, but Viola and Chadwick are almost certain to get in. So I still have that one in for now, but I might go back and I might change my mind on it a little bit later here, but we'll have to see. Minari I have in there for 4th place, and To Five Bloods I have in there for 5th place. And I think these are the same 5 I had last time. So, generally speaking, just the Ma Rainey's is the only one I'm, like, a little frightened of for putting that one in. Mank, I think I went into it last time I explained that one. It's like Gary Oldman is front, got the solo title up front when the title screen shows up, and then it says with, and then it's Amanda Seyfried, Lily Collins, blah, 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 all the way down the line there, and it's all on the same screen. So I'm like, oof, yeah, I don't think that one's going to count. So that one I have missing. And that's, that might be one that a lot of people have in. I don't. Again, we kind of had the Marriage Story fiasco last year, so I don't see that one. Let's see here. Otherwise, this ensemble category has some room, though, outside of Mank and a couple others there. Definitely one that I would be wary of. And again, I'm wary of it just because of the timing and the release of it, but Judas and the Black Messiah, I know a few people really like that film's chances here, and what would really boost it too is if it gets a Globe nomination for like drama picture, either Daniel Kaluuya or what's his name? We'll probably. I think he's running in Best Actor. Oh God, I can see his face. Lakeith Stanfield. And there's a few others in there. If a couple of them get nominations at the Globes, that might turn it around. Then we might see some people jump ship from something like Mank or Ma Rainey's or potentially The Five Bloods, and they might go for that one instead. Let's see here. And that one, again, I'm just worried about the timing of it because time and time again we see films like Little Women and The Post, and even in the ensemble category, Shape of Water, films that hit relatively late in their release date sometimes miss out at SAG here. Now, Bombshell was kind of a late comer last year, and that one did make it in. And that one did have the cast made up of mostly women, which kind of helped it. And sure, Judas and Black Messiah, it's going to have a fairly black cast in there. But when I look at it, it's like, well, Ma Rainey's cast is with a couple exceptions all black. Defy Bloods, again with a couple exceptions, all black cast. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if all three make it in. One Night in Miami is another one. That one I think is a little more mixed. I mean, we have the four guys, sure, but I think there's a little bit more going on there. So, so that one, that one I kind of count a little bit separate from those. But yeah, I just have the feeling, again, just from the trailers and stuff for Judas and Black Messiah, that will be a little less diverse for the how many cast members are in it and how they're on screen together and stuff. Just a general sense. Again, not too many people have seen it, so I could be wrong about that. But that's just the general sense I get. Let's see. Yeah, I mentioned last time, Promising Young Woman might be one that gets in here as well. Again, that one has mostly, I wouldn't say mostly female cast, but a good percentage female cast, the way kind of like Bombshell last year. And that one, hitting in December this year actually feels more like hitting in October or November. So that one might be all right for timing wise. Let's see, who else? Folks are going with The Prom, which again, that's a pretty big cast there and a lot of big names. So possible, but I think if it was really a bigger player for Best Picture and getting quite a few other Oscar nominations, possibly like screenplay, for example, or a couple acting races, or if it was higher up there, I would say definitely The Prom would be, and the fact that it is Netflix would definitely help it. As it is, I have 3 Netflix films getting in for now, and again, they do like Netflix here a lot. We saw The Irishman get in here last year for ensemble. Let's see, I think they were the only ones though. I was going to look this up again because let's see here. Yeah, I think 25th. I think I've got the right year here. Nope. Okay, one more off. So this is the 27th. I was right the first time. Let's see here. Irishman was the only one. Okay, I was going to double check that. But traditionally they get at least one spot for Netflix. So maybe going 3 is a little risky, but I don't know. I just, with it being such a screener season anyways, with COVID and everything, I mean, it might be the year we get 3 Netflix ones in there. Let's see here. United States versus Billie Holiday is another one coming out so late in the season. Again, I really fear that one, is really going to miss out in general. And then, let me think here. Nomadland, I think, being, the way it is, they're kind of mostly a one-woman show, and then with David Strathairn and a few others in there, I don't see that one as a big threat here. If it does get in, wow, okay, that's definitely a sign that it's not really showing any weakness for Best Picture. But again, traditionally speaking, with the exceptions of really of Green Book, and then also of Shape of Water, your Best Picture winner is always nominated here at SAG. Since they had the first show, they've had every winner of Best Picture has at least been nominated at Screen Actors Guild for that ensemble prize. They don't always win. They don't always carry over. Like Hidden Figures won over Moonlight here when La La Land wasn't nominated, and stuff like that. But it's usually a very, very, very good sign that's where we're heading there. Let's see, anybody else I want to throw out here real quick? Some people are liking, lately especially, Sound of Metal, even more so. And I think that one, it almost feels, again, having not seen it, almost feels like you've got Paul Raci and Riz Ahmed, and it kind of feels like a two-person show, just, peripherally speaking. The same would go with The Father. It does have more people in the cast, but again, Olivia Colman, Anthony Hopkins kind of feel like a two-person one there. Two-hander, which I bit the bullet on that one for Green Book a couple of years ago when I thought it would get in. Malcolm and Marie, another one that comes really late in the season, and yeah, it is literally 2 people in the cast from everything I've heard. News of the World, again, mostly 2 people, and yeah, I just don't, that does not feel like it's going to do well here at SAG. Probably the Stunt Ensemble is its best hopes right now. And then the other one I was going to mention here, and I forgot which one it was. A couple people were looking at it, and they were thinking it had a chance, but now I've forgotten which one it was. I'll go back up the list here. Yeah, I think we've mentioned everything. Okay. All right, so going over to Best Actor. I'm going to hedge my bets on this one a little bit. I previously had, let's see, I know, who was it I dropped here? I just changed this today. So I had John David Washington after the first buzz for Malcolm and Marie came out. I put him in, but then I was like, well, it's super late. I'm like, I don't know. I think they're going to go somewhere else. So I'm hedging my bets here because I don't have him getting in at the Globes. He could very well get into the Globes. Riz Ahmed, I did put it instead here for SAG because Sound of Metal was a fairly early release date again. A big plus here at SAG is if you release early, you're more likely to get in. Just looking at the nominees last year, Parasite released in October, but had screened elsewhere like Cannes and stuff and everywhere in between. Bombshell was the exception last year. That was a December release, but again, they had screenings as early as October. Irishman was an early one that was out at New York, I believe, first in late September. JoJo was a Toronto one, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood screened at Cannes and then released in July. And going back, we'll just go back through the last couple of years here. Black Panther won in 2018, and that was, of course, out in February. Black Klansman was nominated, and that was out in August, and I believe screened at Cannes or a couple other places before. Bohemian Rhapsody, the screening started in kind of early October and released in November. Crazy Rich Asians was another August release, and Star is Born was another one that hit the festivals and was out in October. And then 2017, Three Billboards won here, and that one, again, had screened at all the fall circuit festivals there. Big Sick was a summer release. Get Out was nominated, February release. Lady Bird, November release, but again, it screened elsewhere. Mudbound, same deal, out on Netflix. I believe that was November that year, but yeah. So it's not impossible if you're traditionally a December release, and this year we would count you as a January, February release. Of course, the one exception I have this year, of course, would be Minari, which doesn't publicly get released until, it won't hit screens until next month. But again, it's screened so many places early, and there was kind of a little bit of an uproar there. It was a while ago, and it kind of ate up a couple news cycles. Since then, I think everybody's calmed down. But that was when the Globes kind of came out and said, oh, it's not up for Drama Picture because it's got enough foreign spoken dialogue in it and subtitles. We're going to put it in foreign language. And there were a lot of people that were crying, bullshit, all that. They did the same thing with Parasite, but it sounded a little louder this year, I think, this time. So, just to top it off here, though, back to Best Actor. Chadwick I have out front for Ma Rainey's, then Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman for Mank, Delroy Lindo for Da 5 Bloods, and now in that fifth place spot is Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal. And there's a few that I can see getting in here. Stephen Yeun I'm really wary of for Minari, but it feels like Parasite. It feels like one, especially here at SAG, that won't get any of those individual nominations, but will get the ensemble nomination. Remember, too, that even he got in everywhere else, I think, except BAFTA. Antonio Banderas in the foreign performance last year there. I always forget the name of that movie, but whichever one it was there. He couldn't even get in here. So they really struggle here at SAG if it's a foreign language type performance. And, as I understand it, Minari does have quite a bit of mix between, I think it's Japanese, Korean, whichever one. We looked it up one time, yeah. Kind of a mix there between English and the Asian language there of origin. But again, I think that's going to hurt Stephen Yeun and the supporting actress candidates there. Kingsley Ben-Adir is one I can see sneaking in here for One Night in Miami. Again, that one released in January here, but it screened so early at Toronto and was it at Venice? I thought it was Venice too, but elsewhere. So that one feels generally safe, and I believe it was actually in December, in theaters in December, wherever theaters were open. So yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, we talked about Lakeith Stanfield a little bit. Now, that would be a weird one because, generally speaking, even the folks that go out there and talk about Oscar predictions all the time, they were like the last ones to, or either the first ones, or the last ones to see it. I don't know how many other people have talked about it. So again, this is one I feel like it's out way too late, and it's going to be The Post or Little Women or something like that all over again. Yeah, that's one. Again, I could see him sneaking in like at the Golden Globes. We didn't really talk about him in the other video there, Lakeith Stanfield, but yeah, and generally speaking, Daniel Kaluuya seems to have a lot of the buzz around the movie there. So I would also say that's true for like another late one here is like Tom Holland and Cherry. And again, I think some of the early buzz on the film was, yeah, it would be a more commercial film if, all the theater venues were open. But as it stands, it's going to be more, maybe a couple technical prizes it might get nominated for. Like makeup was one they threw out. I've heard a couple people throw out as a possibility, but that was about it. All right. So that's Best Actor. For Best Actress, here's the thing. I went back and looked at this because, again, I had the same four as last time. Vanessa Kirby, Viola Davis, Frances McDormand, Carey Mulligan. But then I put in Zendaya. And I was like, okay. Again, the Malcolm and Marie thing, I think it's going to be late. So I don't know if that one's going to get in now. So I looked back, and if you look at the Best Actress category here, we usually have one of those throw you for a loop type nominees get in here. So we'll look back here at some of the last few. Now, last year, Lupita Nyong'o got in instead of, whoever. Saoirse Ronan, there we go. Yep, for Little Women. But Lupita had been nominated a few other places, so that wasn't really out of nowhere. We saw Emily Blunt get in here over the actress from Roma in 2018. But what I'm talking about is stuff like getting Judi Dench in there for Victoria and Abdul. Even though she'd been nominated at the Globes, she kind of disappeared after that. Or Emily Blunt for Girl on the Train. Or here's the one specifically I thought of was Helen Mirren for Women in Gold. And the same year you had Sarah Silverman for I Smile Back. Or Jennifer Aniston for Cake, even though she had some traction that year. You can look at Marion Cotillard getting in for Rust and Bone. Again, she had a few other spots here and there. Helen Mirren also got in that year for Hitchcock. Again, she'd hit some spots, but not everywhere. Let's see here. Hilary Swank got in for Conviction, which I believe she got a couple other nominations for it that year, but I don't know. I'm going to look up because I don't remember that one at all. Conviction. Yeah, kind of Screen Actors Guild was like the only one that year. Yeah, I remember the Homesman a couple of years later she got some buzz for, but I don't think she got any actual major televised nominations or anything. Let's see, I think they went 5 for 5 in 2009 for the Oscars and stuff. But yeah, Angelina Jolie getting in for A Mighty Heart, clear back in 2007 is another one that pops up here. Volver, Penelope Cruz getting in for that, which again, I feel like that was one she had some other buzz that year. She might have gotten like a Globe nomination or something. Yeah, Golden Globe. There we go. Okay, did she actually get like almost everything? Yeah, she got BAFTA too. Oh no, she was nominated for that. Okay. Yeah, the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, oh wait, that one did get in. I haven't seen that film. There's a lot of these. Like I said, many videos ago, I said like the kind of mid to late 2000s up until like the year of the Hurt Locker is kind of my weak spot for Oscar stuff. Like a lot of those I haven't seen. Anyway, so I kind of looked through and I'm like, okay, where's that oddball nomination going to come from? It's, so I was like, okay, I was kind of split because I was like, my first thought was Amy Adams for Hillbilly Elegy. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, there's definitely, if any branch could get behind this film and appreciate it, it might be the Actors Branch, which does cross over significantly with the Screen Actors Guild there. And they also do go for television, a lot of television voters in there. And I'm like, well, she has done like Sharp Objects and a couple things on TV in the past. So and I think she's definitely a possibility. Otherwise, I was thinking maybe Kate Winslet makes a comeback. She's, historically done very, very well, at various, up to, 7 or 8 Oscar nominations now, or whatever the number is. And I was kind of looking through, I'm like, where is that oddball? And then I looked through and I found it, and I might ditch her later. But and maybe some of this does come from the fact she was just nominated at the Indie Spirits. But how about Sydney Flanagan for Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always? I don't know, that one was out very early, released, just before a pandemic hit in the U.S. It was probably one of the early screeners they got, so, and she's sticking around. I mean, she's gotten a few critics prizes. Let's see, I can actually bring it up here. Let's see here. Boston, she's won at for Best Actress. New York Film Critics Circle, she won Best Actress. The Florida Film Critics Circle, that's a breakthrough. Let's see here. What's the other one here? Runner-up at National Society of Film Critics, which we might talk about that one because they went for Da 5 Bloods, if I'm remembering correctly here. Oh, no, this is Nomadland. Okay, what was the one that went for Da 5 Bloods? I don't know. Yeah, one of those. Again, we normally would spend more time on it, but just the weird schedule, everybody's at different times, and then like the LA film critics in New York were way early, like normal time, but they hadn't seen everything. Yeah, so it was really kind of a weird thing there. National Board of Review, that's the one that they went for Da 5 Bloods. Yeah, and I think they gave, Spike Lee, Da 5 Bloods, one for picture. Yeah, they included Midnight Sky in there in the 40-year-old version for Best Film and First Cow. So they went with some different ones there. Let's see here. They went Riz Ahmed, Carey Mulligan, Paul Raci. Lee Isaac Chung won for his screenplay for Minari. News of the World won for screenplay. I hadn't read that one yet. That's kind of funny. Okay, I didn't expect that one. And then Da 5 Bloods was also the winner for Best Ensemble. So, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Black Klansman. That's another reason why I'm kind of sticking with 5 Bloods as well for SAG here, is that Black Klansman was a nominee here, and even late that year, I remember some people thinking it had a shot at upsetting. I can't remember who the projected frontrunner was. God, I can't remember that year. Anyways, but I just remember Black Panther was one I wasn't really way too confident in that one actually winning. I thought it maybe stood a chance, but. Yeah, anyways, so for now I've got Sidney Flanigan in there. Again, it might be for some folks wishful thinking because it was such a small film and it did come out so early, but I don't know. Indie Spirits, I mean, that was the most nominated film this year. We'll get into the Indie Spirit nominations here after we're done with SAG, because I did want to mention them really quick here, but yeah, I mean, outside of the ones we've already mentioned here, Andra Day for United States vs. Billie Holiday, again, so late in the season, I would be wary of that one to a slighter extent. Let's see, who else? Michelle Pfeiffer, French Exit. Again, that one feels like it's in the wind. Sophia Loren for The Life Ahead, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see way too many other ones that are jumping out at me as ones to watch out for, so... Yeah, so it's I don't know. I'm trying to catch that weird spot this year for lead actors. It almost seems like there's always one, or at least a questionable one, or one that doesn't carry over to Best Actress at the Oscars, at least. Okay, so then we'll go into supporting actor now. This is the one where I kind of had a little bit of a epiphany moment, because beforehand, I still have them at the Globes and at Oscars being the three guys from Trial Chicago 7, Leslie Odom Jr., and then either Bill Murray or somebody else. But here at SAG, I'm again reminded of a year. It was a very weird year at SAG. I remember that morning was the 2015 year, 22nd Screen Actors Guild, because we had Spotlight nominated for Ensemble, which wasn't a surprise, and then The Big Short, which I think, if I remember right, I put that in last minute after it did well at the Globes, or maybe I have that reversed there. I can't remember. Was this the year they had SAG first and then they went to Globes? Oh, God, I can't remember, but I remember there were so many surprises this morning. I was so, thrown. Like Beasts of No Nation getting in for Outstanding Cast, even though it had 3 credited actors to it. Straight Outta Compton getting in, I remember, was a surprise. Trumbo was a surprise getting in, even though in retrospect it did have quite a big ensemble there. Otherwise, like 99 Homes, Michael Shannon was still on a roll at that time. Jacob Tremblay got in for Room. He didn't really make it in anywhere else. I remember Johnny Depp was an expected nominee for Black Mass, but then he just totally disappeared after that. We mentioned, Woman in Gold and I Smile Back, those two for Helen Mirren and Sarah Silverman, respectively. And then, I think Helen Mirren, was in the conversation for Trumbo at that point for supporting actress, but that was like, oh, okay, now she's maybe even more so a threat. But I remember there was just so many that I missed that morning, and I was like so Like, it was like every other one. I was like, oh, what? I remember I was really shaking my head at a lot of the stuff that morning. So, and I remember supporting actor being that way because I didn't have Michael Shannon, I didn't have Jacob Tremblay in for sure. I think I might have gotten the other three. I might have missed Christian Bale too, though, actually, now that I think about it. But anyways, so sometimes supporting actor does go its own way as well here. So I do have, comparatively to my other predictions here, quite a few changes. Now, remember also that year, for 2015, you also, if you'll look there, nobody from Spotlight got in. Now, and remember, Spotlight, again, I see as the kind of this year's equivalent for Trial of Chicago 7, where it is kind of that front-runner position and feels like it has been for a long time. That being said, I have one getting in, just one. And again, I think that, as I kind of mentioned there at the Oscars and everywhere else, if you just have the one nominee from that film consistently nominated everywhere and as the solo nominee at the Oscars, if it turns out that way, that might really help that person win. So in this case, I think Sacha Baron Cohen is the one everybody's kind of talking about. So I have him now out front, then Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami. Then I have Bill Murray getting in for On the Rocks, but I'm kind of shaky on that one. That one was out early, but I don't know, and they might want to give Apple something, so that might land there. Then I do have Paul Raci now in for Sound of Metal, and that fifth spot, I originally did have Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, but then I remembered, oh, it's super late. No, wait. I'm like, I don't, maybe not. I might switch back to him later. I might go back to either Mark Rylance or Yahya Abdul-Mateen II for Trial of Chicago 7. I might wuss out and have at least two of them getting in. But for now, that fifth spot, again, depending on the strength of the film, and I think it will be strong, Chadwick Boseman for Da 5 Bloods. And I know earlier I was very critical of that one getting in, but it's like, I don't know. I think SAG is always one where it's like almost all bets are off some years. It's like, I don't know. So I don't know. I'm kind of, again, maybe going for a long shot there for that one potentially. But I don't know. It's like, and Mark Rylance, again, maybe he's the solo nominee and Sacha Baron Cohen gets a weird slot for Best Actor for Borat or something. I don't know. It feels like something, it feels like there's going to be one big surprise here somewhere. There's going to be something that we're all going to miss, or that a lot of us are going to be scratching our heads at first, and then we'll see how it goes through the rest of the season. But I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of looking through here, like David Strathairn for Nomadland. I don't know. It feels like Francis is probably going to be the only one who gets nominated for that one. Maybe across the board, maybe David does get a couple notices here and there, but feels like that's the one performance from that film that's going to go through all the way, through all the nominations, I mean. I don't know. I mean, Stanley Tucci for Supernova, I know that one is opening this weekend, so, I mean, I think the ballots are going to be due here, but either at that time or slightly before, but, I don't know. I mean, and that one, it felt like it spiked up at a point. Now not as many people are talking about it, so he might come back and get nominated here. I'm just looking around too, and it's like, well, that one doesn't make sense, that one has fallen off, and all that stuff. So I don't know. It feels like, again, like this could be one where I just missed a bunch, but I don't know. I'll try a few things here and there. Okay, then for supporting actress, I have Olivia Colman out front for The Father. Again, she has kind of an IOU because she did not win for The Favorite. Ellen Burstyn in second place for Pieces of a Woman. Amanda Seyfried in third for Mank. Glenn Close in fourth place. I do have her getting in still for Hillbilly Elegy. Again, that one was out early enough. And despite the bad press on it, I just have a sense that Glenn Close is going to get in almost everywhere. She might miss it like BAFTA or something, but I don't know. And then that fifth slot, again, is that weird one. Because before I had Helena Zengel in for News of the World, but again, I don't feel like that one's going to be on the radar very high for SAG here. And I was kind of looking around, and again, I was going to find a weird one. But this one, I mean, I have her getting in at the Globes, but in a separate category. Maria Bakalova for the Borat sequel. Again, Amazon film, out pretty early. And Amazon, again, traditionally does have do some damage here at SAG. They did get, it was all four, right? For Manchester? Yeah, 4 nominations for Manchester. Then they had, there's a couple other examples here. Didn't they have, okay, no, not that one. I was kind of looking, because I thought there was one other one, but now I can't remember which one it was. No, okay, yeah. So they've gone here before. Um, and I do have, yeah. Who did I just say? Yeah, like Amazon. Some of the One Night Miami guys getting in for ensemble, and then Leslie Odom Jr. And then, yeah, otherwise here, there's going to be a few possibilities. Yun Jun Yun has gotten quite a few notices now for Minari. She's in here at Indie Spirits. Well, yesterday the nominations came out, so again, possible, but I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are putting her in now for either the fourth or fifth, or somewhere in there for best supporting actress now. If they hadn't before, I know some were bigger believers in the movie than others and put her in earlier. But again, it's like it's possible. I mean, we did see, Parasite kind of being, the kind of rule breaker last year. So now they might go with a performance from a movie that's kind of similar in that way. It could happen, and I know there were some critiques last year for not getting like Song Kang-ho or somebody from that cast in one of the slots there. But I don't know. I mean, it could happen here at SAG as well. But again, I'm just really, really, really keeping in mind that rule of the foreign language performances not doing exceedingly well here. Let's see. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm kind of looking around here, and again, nothing else is really standing out for me here. I mean, we mentioned like the Jodie Foster one, but again, that one is coming out like right, in February there, I believe, after these nominations are out. So I don't have a lot of confidence in that one. Sound of Metal does have, I guess, Olivia Cooke has a supporting role in it. I haven't heard much talk about it, but if that one happens to get, I've got it down for 2 already, but if it gets a third one and then maybe surprises us and gets an ensemble nomination somehow, maybe, but again, I think that's one where they're really going to have to go for it. And then Saoirse Ronan for Ammonite, but again, I think it would have to be both her and Kate Winslet. I think, I don't know, I don't see a scenario where just one of them gets in, but I could be dead wrong about that. I said that the year of the Hugh Grant Meryl Streep year for Florence Foster Jenkins. And I got that one wrong because early on I said I think if one gets in, the other gets in, but it didn't turn out for Hugh Grant there. Okay, so getting back to that stunt ensemble category, I think the Five Bloods I have in there. It does feel like The Irishman, which got the stunt ensemble last year, 2 supporting actors and ensemble. So actually, it's not the exact same categories, but I have Delroy Lindo, Chadwick Boseman, stunt and ensemble. So that could carry over, and that could end up being Netflix's biggest player here at SAG. And then we have, they would have 4, because Ma Rainey's I have getting 3 right now, and then Mank I have just getting the 2 without ensemble. And that one might end up like Vice as well. That one I remember, it was kind of a late comer that year, and I had it in for ensemble, but it just ended up getting, I don't think Sam Rockwell got in that year, did he? I think it was just Christian Bale, Amy Adams. Yeah, he didn't make it for SAG. That they went with the other Sam Elliott. I remember we had the Battle of the Sams that year. That's right. Let's see here. So then Wonder Woman 1984 I have getting in for stunt ensemble. Remember the first Wonder Woman did win this category over Dunkirk. I remember that was a huge upset that year. The News of the World, I think, if it does get any love, it will be in this stunt category. I don't know, that one might make sense. Tenet feels relatively safe here. And then Mulan, I think, will get in. I think that'll get that 5th one. Again, that was one I saw recently there. And, I think generally speaking, that one's going to be one that might get in and surprise a few folks. All right, so that's it for Screen Actors Guild. Again, I might make one last update here before the nominations come out next Thursday. Depending on what Globes go with, I might make some changes, but again, it depends. Like if something like Judas and the Black Messiah and Malcolm and Marie or something, a couple of those late comers do very, very well at the Globes, it'll be tough. It'll be really tough because again, I don't want to go with those late comers. That's when I usually mess up. Is when I get stuff like The Post and Shape of Water. To be fair, a lot of people had Shape of Water, but like The Post and Little Women, I think, did I pull that entirely last year from everything? I can't remember. I think I had at least Saoirse getting in. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, so let's move on. We'll quickly kind of go over some of the Indie Spirit nominations here. But we'll go through the list of the film nominees for sure, and then kind of talk a little bit about, is there any like genuine surprises here? Anything that feels totally out of place, or anything that's kind of missing, or whatever. And again, the rules for this one depends on your budget and stuff like that. So like I do see One Night in Miami got nothing here, which might not have qualified. I'm not sure. If it did qualify, ooh, that hurts, because I know it did get a few other nominations here and there. But yeah, that one feels like one that should get in for some stuff. And then I think there were a couple other ones as well, but yeah, we'll get there. Okay, so the best film nominees in alphabetical order are First Cow. That one's still sticking around, but and generally speaking, yeah, I don't have that one getting I don't think it'll get any love from any of the other like televised stuff like Globe, SAG, BAFTA, so on and so forth, because it feels like that the one a couple of years ago, Leave No Trace. Yeah, that one got a ton of love from like Indie Spirits and Gotham and everything, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's going to be a Best Picture nominee." I'm like, "Oh, hold your horses there." Otherwise, Ma Rainey's got in for Best Feature here. Minari, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, which we mentioned, that is the leading nominee here with 7, and then Nomadland also got in there for Best Film. All right, so when we go over to Best Director, though, this is kind of a little bit of a surprise here, where we have 4 of the 5 slots going to female directors, which I believe has not happened here at least at Indie Spirit Awards. And no, the only male director to get in is Lee Isaac Chung, who I believe is from Okay, he's American, but he has descents going back to Korea. Okay, I thought it was Korea, but I was like, I didn't know about that one. I always feel like I get that wrong, and then I look racist for getting it wrong. But it's like, sorry, until I see the movie, I mean, I might get it wrong, folks. Anyway, so Lee Isaac Chung in there for Minari. Emerald Fennell did get in for Promising Young Woman. Liza Hittman, who's the director on Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. Kelly Reichardt, who got in for First Cow. And then Chloe Zhao, who got in for Nomadland. Then for, we'll go through the acting categories next here. Male lead, or Best Actor equivalent there, Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal. Chadwick Boseman nominated posthumously, of course, for Ma Rainey's. Adarsh Gurav for The White Tiger. That one I know, it's on Netflix now, but I have no clue what that one is. Rob Morgan for Bull, and Stephen Yeun did get in for Minari. But again, obviously there's going to be a few Best Actor contenders here who are not qualifying here. Now, The Father is one, I would have thought that would be eligible here, but I guess not, maybe not. Let's see, then for Lead Actress, we do have, there's 6 nominees here, so I guess there was a tie or something. Nicole Berry got in for Miss Juneteenth. She's gotten a few other notices this year, I believe, including Gotham. Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's. Sydney Flanagan, we mentioned her briefly there for Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. Julia Garner got in again for The Assistant, again another Gotham nominee there. Frances McDormand for Nomadland, and then Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. For Supporting Actor, we have Coleman Domingo for Ma Rainey's. I think he's the best of the supporting actors there. Orion Lee for First Cow, Paul Raci for Sound of Metal, Glenn Turman for Ma Rainey's, and then Benedict Wong got in for 9 Days, which I hadn't heard of that one before. Okay, for Supporting Actress, we have Alexis Chikazi. I might be mispronouncing that, for Miss Juneteenth. Han Yi-ri for Minari. Valerie Maffery for French Exit, which, yeah, I believe all the buzz was just on Michelle Pfeiffer, but yeah, that's kind of surprised to see her in there. And then obviously the fact she wasn't in for Best Actress today was probably a sign, yeah. Talia Ryder for Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, and then Ye Yun Jung for Minari. For Screenplay, again, remember there's no distinction here between original and adapted. Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman, Eliza Hittman for Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, Mike Makowski for Bad Education, the HBO one, and then Alice Wu for The Half of It. So there we see 3 writer-directors nominated in both categories, which, I'm going to quick go back to last year to see how many of those carried over. Damn, actually not too many. The Safdie brothers, and then they did have another co-writer, though, on Uncut Gems. And I think that's it. Yeah, so that's, I don't know, that's kind of different. I mean, I would normally expect that to be more often the case, but it was not last year. Maybe it was in years before, but let's. I don't want to spend 20 minutes on it. Okay, for best first screenplay, we do sometimes see these lap over a little bit, but not the case this year. Sometimes those best screenplays are first screenplays, so they get nominated both times. I know I've seen that before, but well, yeah, take my word for it. Kitty Green's nominated for The Assistant, Noah Hutton for Lapses, Channing Godfrey Peoples for Miss Juneteenth, Andy Sierra could be both, for Palm Springs, and James Sweeney for Straight Up. For first feature, we've got the 40-year-old version, I Carry You With Me, Miss Juneteenth, 9 Days, and Sound of Metal. Documentary, we have Collective, Crip Camp, Dick Johnson is Dead, Time, and The Mole Agent. And I do have a couple of technical categories here. We'll get to those in a second. We'll start with international film. Bakaru from Brazil, The Disciple from India, I like they have the countries on here, Night of the Kings from the Ivory Coast, Preparations to Be Together for an Unknown Period of Time, quite a title there, from Hungary, and Kova di Ada from Bosnia, and I have no idea how to pronounce that country, but Bosnia, at least Bosnia. Then we have cinematography and editing. I'll go back through and just name off who I think would win here real quick. For cinematography, we have She Dies Tomorrow, Bull, The Assistant, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, and Nomadland getting in there. And then for editing, I guess Blumhouse counts here because The Invisible Man's in there. Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. And I did double check. This is the Elizabeth Moss one. There wasn't another independent one that we hadn't heard of, just also conveniently titled Invisible Man. Residue is in there for editing, which I hadn't heard of that one. I Carry You With Me. And Nomadland also got a nomination for editing. And that's actually Chloe Zhao. So she could be... I keep forgetting that. She is an editor on this film as well. So... yeah, I mean, she could have, it's kind of that situation like Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, there, where it's like almost all the the categories that Nomadland wins could go to one person, with the exception, obviously, Roma that year he had he accepted it for Best Foreign Language Film, or International Film as it's known now, but he also picked up for directing and then for its cinematography. So, yeah, we'd have to see here because, I mean, if she wins for screenplay, which is up in the air, could win for directing very easily. Might win if it goes all the way for Best Picture, so she's a producer on the film as well. But there are 5. Do they say you can have 5? I can't remember if it's 4 or 5 on the rules there. Most of the time, if it's more than like 5, then they say nominees to be determined, and then they whittle it down or something. But anyways, we might. So that'll be interesting. I hadn't really remembered that up until now. So real quick, let's go through these. Who do I think wins Best Feature? Probably comes down to Nomadland or Minari, or maybe something like Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. It does have quite a few nominations. For Director, I have probably Chloe Zhao getting this one. Best Actor, it'll be tight between Riz Ahmed. I know there's a lot of passion for that performance, and then also Chadwick will get, I'm sure, quite a few number of votes for Ma Rainey's, even though, correct me if I'm wrong here, Gotham did already give out their awards here, and I believe he picked it up for Sound of Metal. I don't know, I'm not seeing it here. Oh, wait, these are alphabetical, that's why. He did win for Best Actor there, over Chadwick, who was nominated there. I don't know. I mean, that's a little... I'm not sure about that one. I guess I didn't talk about who won there, but I don't know. We'll probably come back to that some other time. This is going on long enough. Best Actress, I'm going to go for an upset here and go for Sydney Flanagan. I think there's enough passion behind the film here, clearly with a number of nominations, and I think the argument I have maybe at the Oscars, Golden Globes, and a lot of other places this year for Vanessa Kirby winning over Viola Davis and Frances McDormand is both of them have won before, and they both could really end up splitting votes, because there are going to be definitely members voting for both of them. Supporting actor, I think I picked Paul Raci here early, but I do like Coleman Domingo, though. But there could be some vote splitting there with both him and Glenn Turman. Supporting actress, I think I picked Yun Jung Young here for... Yu Ya Jung for Minari here. Screenplay, it's probably... I think I would pick Promising Young Woman right now. It feels like that script is one a lot of people think will go the distance and get that screenplay nomination for original at the Oscars. So that sounds good. First screenplay probably comes down to the screenplay for Miss Juneteenth, which gets quite a few nominations here, or The Assistant. The Assistant has gotten quite a few notices as well. First feature probably comes down to Sound of Metal, Miss Juneteenth, or the 40-year-old version. I think all three of those have a lot of heat to them. Documentary, Time sounds like a good one. That's gotten a few other notices this year. International film, I have no clue, because again, I think Another Round is one that everybody's early on kind of saying here, but Disciple, I don't know. We'll come back to those. And then cinematography and editing, I can maybe see both of those going to Nomadland, possibly. Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always is nominated in both, so I can see it kind of splitting, like Nomadland, if it picks up cinematography, for example, then they don't have to go with Chloe Zhao winning 2. They can give it to the editor on Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, which is Scott Cummings, is the name listed here. So, yeah, but of course, Indie Spirits are going to be handed out. I believe it's now after the Oscars. It was supposed to be like the day of the Oscars or like the day before, which they traditionally do. But I believe it's they just changed it now to the 22nd. So maybe that's ahead of the Oscars. I can't remember. When are the Oscars this year? Let's see here. I always forget when their date is here. It's like when the nominations come out. Yeah, I know it's mid-March, but I can't tell you the exact date. Anyways, it doesn't say here right away, so I'm going to have to do some searching real quick. 2020, there we go. Ceremony's on the 25th. Okay, it is before still. Okay, I thought they were going to go longer, like after, but no, it's going to be still slightly before. Okay, so that's what I got for now. So yeah, we'll come back here. Definitely we'll do another video before the Golden Globe nominations come out. Again, I'll kind of think about it a little bit. I'll see if I want to tweak anything. Like Riz Ahmed, I feel like I'll probably put him in last second. I'll probably bite the bullet there, and then I might get it wrong. it would be, I know for a lot of people, very, very upsetting to see him get all these like Gotham nomination, Indie Spirit, and then as soon as they get to the televised stuff, they just drop him, and then he ends up getting like no nominations anywhere, except maybe like a weird one at SAG or BAFTA or something. But I know a lot of people will be disappointed in that. I've yet to see the film, to be fair, yeah, so when I see it, maybe I will, because maybe after I see it, I'll get where the passion is, because right now, having not seen it, I don't know. But yeah. All right. So yeah, I think that's all I've got for now. So yep, we'll catch up with everybody later, and we'll see. Yeah, again, we'll see if there's any last minute changes I want to make here, especially to like Globes before next time.